So she couldn't move, she couldn't stand, she couldn't help herself. Basically, even her spine was dead. So she was just lying down. And then at the end, she didn't have any meat on her. She had very big wounds around the legs, even behind the spinal cord. So it was so traumatizing. Even when she was alive, she never closed her eyes. They were always open when she's sleeping, from birth till when she was alive. So when she passed on, actually, when we took her to the morgue, her eyes were closed. Okay, they say they embalmed her. Embalming, ile process ya kusafisha maiti. That's the first time we saw her eyes closed. So personally, I felt like she's sleeping, she's at peace. But the process was not easy, like from taking the body from the house to the morgue, it wasn't easy.
It's Martin Dean Kenya and welcome back to the top channel. Just in case you're new here, guys, consider subscribing. Just imagine losing your daughter at an age of 20 years, seeing her akipotea, like you are there, you are seeing her going, anakuambia, talking to you, like just imagine that kind of pain you can go through. Unaona mtu anakufa, unamuona tu akienda kabisa. And this is the last time I'm seeing you, like we have been together, like very painful. It's better you die when I'm not there, but when I'm there, it's very, very painful. So I'm meeting this lady here. Unataka kupiga story na yeye atuambie how it happened and what was life before that, life during that moment, and life after now, or after that moment. So you get to know her. Atuambie jina yake anaitwa nani. From there we continue. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
You're looking good.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Maybe tell us your name.
Okay, I'm Marianne Jambi. I'm a plus size model, a mother of two. The one who is gone and now a 14-year-old daughter. Yes.
I'm very sorry for that. You told me of that story and I was shocked. I was not like, I was imagining like losing someone just ukiangalia too, and I was like, you went through a lot. So maybe where were you born?
Okay, I was born in Nairobi in a hospital called Ninawa Mumbi. It's just in Naivasha Road, like around Upper Precious Blood. Then we were raised in Nairobi. I have 4 other sisters. Then we had a normal life. Then we had 2 parents who were in a nuclear home. Life was good. I can't complain. Yes.
So you've been raised here in Nairobi, life imekuwa Nairobi, everything?
Yes. All my life has been in Nairobi. Yes.
And maybe getting a job, are you working here ama una work outside Nairobi?
No, right now I'm also in Nairobi, although I'm a freelance plus size model. I don't have an 8 to 5 job for now. Yes.
Oh, fine. Maybe how did that happen, like losing a child at that kind of moment? How was it?
It was very devastating and traumatizing at the same time because I gave birth to her very normally. She had a normal childhood. Then at 15, she got TB. She had attended.
Just before that, maybe I want to know maybe how you gave birth. Like, was it any problem there? Ama kulikuwa tu sawa?
I actually didn't even have any complications, and then it was a normal birth. So we were happy until she turned 15. She was happy, she was joyful, she was normal, just normal, very healthy. In fact, at birth, she was 3.5 kg. Wow. So you see, she was very healthy. We weren't expecting any bad things to happen to her. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, after there now you gave birth to her. You are saying so it was a normal birth. Maybe after now birth, what really happened? How was it?
She was normal until at the age of 15. She had attended a church camp for 1 week. When she came back home, she developed a cough, which lasted. It was just developing. Then we bought drugs. She was treated. Later, we took action. She just lost weight drastically. Then we took immediate action. She did an X-ray and a sputum test. Then they found her with TB, that TB for the lungs. So we started treatment immediately because the treatment is free. We went to a government hospital. We were living around there, Naivasha Road. Then we were taking the drugs in a center in Kawangware because it was the nearest. So it was very devastating to hear such news, but she started on drugs. they were supposed to last for 6 months, but after the 6 months, it relapsed. They said that it didn't go away. So she was prescribed for 6 more months. That is a total of 1 year. So after the 1 year, they said that complications. So you see, after the 1 year, now she got another condition called aspergillosis, which is damaged lungs. Those are holes in the lungs. So between 15 and the time she passed on, we were taking drugs for aspergillosis. And then we moved from TB, which is a free treatment, to aspergillosis, which is very expensive. And then she was under an insurance cover, which denied it. They denied her cover. And then NHIF would only cover for the X-ray and the CT scans. So you see, the process was not so smooth. During the 15 to 19, around 19, she started developing, like there's a time she had edema, which is fluids on the legs. They were drained out, and then later she could stand, then the legs just fold themselves, then she falls. So after that, she developed now a condition called GBS. GBS is loud dead nerves. So she couldn't move, she couldn't stand, she couldn't help herself. Basically, even her spine was dead. So she was just lying down. And then at the end, she didn't have any meat on her. She had very big wounds around the legs, even behind the spinal cord. So it was so traumatizing, even her. Because I have another daughter called Faith, she's 14 years. So watching her at that state was the worst situation. Yeah.
True.
Yes.
Maybe if I may ask, like you've said that hii ugonjwa ilikuwa inapatikana, ingine inakuja. How was the state? Maybe was it changing ama ilikuwa tu flat?
The state was not changing. In fact, the doctor is the one who was giving her steroids so that at least she can be a bit confident. Because there's a time we were working with her to go to hospital. So she was underweight and people could comment on the stigma. And then herself, she was like, people are laughing at her. So she wasn't confident. So eventually, it was just like she was taking steroids to look a bit big. And then, eventually everything just turned around. In fact, the drugs, instead of becoming better, she was becoming worse. So it's condition after condition. There's a time she had candidiasis, which are wounds on the lips, the throat and the tongue. So you see, it wasn't getting better. It was very worse.
So during that moment, were you living with your... Okay, I forgot to ask this question at the beginning of the video. Like, is Marianne married currently?
No, I've always lived with my two daughters, but when she was very sick, we had moved in with my sister, the one who follows me, so that she can help me with the bathing and everything, changing her, because also she was using Pampers. So it was very devastating eventually, because we had to move in with her. She offered her help, which I'll never forget. So we moved in with my little daughter. She's called Faith, now 14 years. So until she passed on, we were living with my sister. Then eventually we healed. We had to heal kidogo, but at the same time, we felt like she needed her space. So we had to move in quickly so that even the healing can begin. I felt it was me and Faith. We needed to heal on our own. Yeah, because at the same time, I didn't attend therapy. I felt we were our own therapy because we saw everything. Eventually, she passed on at my sister's place, on a chair she was lying on. So we watched her taking her last breath. Yeah.
Maybe during that moment of struggle, was the father of the child alikuwa anashughulika kweli?
At some point he was, at some point he wasn't. So it was 50-50. He wasn't very reliable. At first he was. He used to even send money for drugs, or he buys the drugs themselves. But at the end, he bailed out, kinda. I can't say he bailed out because he wasn't there. So at some point I had to reach out to my church, and they're the ones who contributed, because at the end of the day, the drugs were causing more damage. So we had to start afresh, like for her taking supplements, working on her bones, like she had vitamin D3 deficiency, such things. So I sought for church, they contributed KRC. Then from that time up to the time she passed on, I had an 8 to 5 job. So I used my savings, but I was fired at the same time. So you see, that's why I had to sort for something else to do, because my concentration in my work was not good, so the boss felt like I wasn't yes, I wasn't delivering because it was a sales job in tiling carpet. So at the end of the day, I also felt it's a blessing because I got the plus size modeling is freelance and I can do it any day. So I used to rely on calls. Yeah, it's flexible. And then I used to spend more time with my girls. I felt it's like a blessing in disguise. Yeah.
Okay, maybe it may seem to be personal, but maybe if I may ask, okay, between you and the father of the child, is there anything maybe you can tell us more about it?
No, we had just met in my 20s. We were dating, so it's not like we are married. We just got out of just the youth we were dating at that time. So he actually relocated. He stays in the UK and he remarried. So we are not together. In fact, she's the one who was keeping the contact for us to like communicate. Yeah. So that time she passed on, he wasn't even here. So the people who are his relatives, they represented him. So we had to bury her at Langata, but they contributed plus the church. They contributed last minute, so they bought her dress, the coffin, they paid for the grounds, but he still wasn't here. So even he came at 2019 to do a memorial for her. Because you remember that time she passed on in 2020. It was the COVID time, the high peak of COVID. So they weren't allowed to travel. Yes.
Okay, how was her life like in school, whatever, interacting with others?
She was a very peaceful girl. In fact, she believed in God so much. She used to make us hold fellowships. She used to say, like at 7:30 sharp, we are gathering together to do fellowship, thanksgiving, forgiveness. And then she used to attend homeschooling because she couldn't do frequent schooling because of her health. There's a time she could just black out. So even that time it was traumatic and there was no peace. Because in my mind I was like, I might get calls that your daughter is on the road, she's been hit by a car. So in a way, and then her life was spiritual. She wanted to attend the church camps, retreats, church retreats, because there's one she always felt like there's God. She used to feel God's presence. So every time she had an opportunity, there was a time she was a bit healthy when she was on steroids. She used to go to a retreat in Nakuru. So every time she was like, I switch off my phone, I feel God's presence. So it was very spiritual in a way. And then there's a time a pastor came to see us. She told us that she's lying there with God. She was called Mobese. So she told us, Mobese is there with God, but you can't see it, but her, she's seeing it. Because she was so calm, she wasn't worried. Yeah, so it was a spiritual journey for her. Yes.
You've told me that you've got another daughter,
Yes,
right? And
yeah.
are the other daughter, like the one who is alive now, are the same father?
No, they are not the same father. After the guy relocated to the UK, I had waited for him for 5 years. Then I met now Faith's dad. She's called Faith. Then we got married, but we divorced at the same time. We were married for 6 years, but it didn't work out. But we are kind of co-parenting. Yeah, so he takes care of her school fees. I do my duties. I pay my rent, pay the bills. So yeah, it's not been easy, but I appreciate the little support he offers. Yes.
How is she?
She's okay. At first, she was a bit damaged. She was like, the sister was a confidant. So there's a time she's choosing clothes. She's like, who will help me choose? She was a bit angry, bitter. Then at the same time, we were crying together. We were like, it's not easy. Then we still have the chair. She passed on. So it was not easy, like saying this is where she was, So for now, we are very prayerful and we are closer to God because her memories are there. And then our mantra is like, what would Mobese want us to do? So when we are a bit happier, we are not perfect, but when we are happy, we feel like she's clapping for us because she was peaceful. She'd want togetherness, forgiveness. We feel like, and then I feel like Mobese is also in faith. because they have like the same. Mobese liked poetry, she likes poetry, she likes literature. So Faith is also, she loves literature. And then at the same time, Mobese wanted to be an RTB ambassador. So Faith feels like she can carry on that. She prays that God gives her the grace to carry on that for her sister. Then there's a time she sounds like her sister, like some habits. So I feel like she's still around us. I still have two daughters in one. Yes.
Now, after now the dad leaving to, relocating to UK, yeah?
Yes.
Were you feeling like, since alienda na akapotea kabisa, were you feeling like, were there any hopes maybe getting married again? Okay, you've said you are not married,
Yes.
and maybe I was just asking like dating again, not getting married.
It's possible, but I felt like in my life I've always wanted children. So I felt like my focus is on my children. So I'm more happy when I'm not married because I like focusing on my children. But I always say God's will. I always trust God. If you want me to have a husband, let your will be done. I'm not like pushing it away, but I'm okay for now. Like I'm okay with my daughter. She gives me strength. So I'm very okay. Yes.
Now after the first one, the second one now, pia akatoka kidogo. Okay, how was the feeling? How were you feeling like, were you regretting something?
No, I felt like they gave me what I wanted, children.
So okay.
Yes, I'm very okay. Yes.
Any hopes maybe za kupata mwingine?
Not really. Maybe adopting nikiomoka. Because the process is not easy for giving birth, and I feel like at my age there might be more risks than the like I wouldn't risk for now. Yes.
Why do you think kuna risk pia?
Ukifika age ingine, like when you're over 35, I feel like it's so risky to carry a baby. And I would want, my wish is like to have more life with this one I'm left with. Yes.
But I have my aunt, she's just, I think for now, anaelekea 47 there. And she got a baby boy during her 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not 33, 42.
Okay.
Yeah, she's heading, currently anaenda 50.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of risks you are talking about.
Okay, as I said, if God wills, if He wills, I won't disobey Him. Like if I feel like this is from God, I'll definitely do it. But for now, my focus is not on getting another baby.
Okay. During that moment, any family members, were they even coming to maybe to check up on like were they were they like taking part in taking care of the child?
Yes, my sisters were there, my 3 sisters, because one is in the US, but my other 3 sisters were always there. Sometimes they used to offer, like, we used to take her to hospital together. They come to, like, even mental, calling her, visiting her, bringing her stuff. So, like food, the diet, they've been there. They've been a strong support. And then that's why I feel like I haven't healed perfectly, but the healing process was easier because the church was there, my sisters were there. So I felt like spiritually built and mentally. So basically, yeah, they've been there. I won't deny it. Yes.
Now, personally, you yourself, maybe that kind of that kind of condition ilitoka kwa familia. In your family, was there anyone mwenye alipitia the same issue?
In fact, no. We were very shocked, but I don't know. People are saying ati kuna urogi, like it's a curse because the dad is Congolese. So I don't know. Some people are saying he sacrificed her, some are saying it's wrong. But I don't like getting involved in those things so much because they won't bring her back. So I felt like God needed to take her, and maybe her prayers were like, God, just take me. So in the intervention, someone felt my story, and he was like, maybe she asked God to take her. Like she was really in pain. So I feel as much as even if there's nothing I can do, I can't bring her back. So at the end of the day, it's like she was at peace when she passed on. Because when she passed on, she just slept. Like, actually, I must mention this. When she was alive, she never closed her eyes. They were always open when she's sleeping, from birth till when she was alive. So when she passed on, actually, when we took her to the morgue, her eyes were closed. Okay, they say they embalmed her. Embalming ile process ya kusafisha maiti. That's the first time we saw her eyes closed. So personally, I felt like she's sleeping, she's at peace, but the process was not easy. Like from taking the body from the house to the morgue, it wasn't easy.
Wow.
First of all, we even tried like calling an ambulance. They came, tried to resuscitate her. So they're the ones who pronounced her dead. So it was not easy. Taking that body from the chair to now the ears, it was the hardest.
It's never easy.
Yeah, because they folded her in a thing, an orange. I felt it's a gunia or a cloth, I'm not sure. But now you're seeing it's a body. She's not coming back. You can't talk to her. So it's not been easy, but yeah, we just pray for strength, but we feel like she's at peace because we don't have nightmares. We feel like she talks to us and she claps for us when we have any small progress or when we are happy. So it's like, as I said, it's a blessing in disguise, and we try our best not to ask God why. Yeah, because he felt like, okay, maybe this is her time. Yeah, so
Maybe you've just said that alikuwa the eyes were open all through since birth.
Yes.
Maybe did you try maybe to getting to the doctor umwambie what kind of issue is there? Ama you saw that is a normal thing?
I saw that it's normal because even the dad used to sleep like that, kinda, when we were dating, of course. So I think like she got it from her dad. Yes.
Maybe was getting that child an accident ama it came after a decision?
No, we had decided, as I said, me, I've always wanted kids. So there's no point that I felt used or I regretted. I've actually wanted kids, especially girls, thank God. So for me, it was a blessing. It also brought a lot of joy in our home, in my mom's family. My mom was alive when she was there. So she took part in raising her. So she was a lot of joy. I never say that I'm regretting or anything. Yes.
So meaning getting a child from that person, like ilikuwa something you knew that we are getting married together?
Yes, in fact, before he went to UK, he had engaged me. He had thrown an engagement party. So it was something arranged. We had planned for it. Yes.
And you just said that you really wanted to get girls, especially.
Yes.
What maybe made you to focus much more on girls?
Because of the trauma my sisters went through with their sons. Like,
what really happened?
Like there's a time my nephew, one of them, was riding a bike in a hill. It's the first time to ride. Then he fell and lost all his front teeth. And then one of them would jump from a chair, like pretending you're Spider-Man. Like, I don't think I can handle that pressure.
So that one is the one that's making you fear getting a baby boy?
I think so, but I think I would dwell on more of a healthy child. But I thank God for girls because they are a bit calm. And I felt like I raised them without stress. Yes.
Now maybe just tukimalizia, what you've said anaitwa Faith,
Yes.
Faith.
Yes.
Faith anafanya nini sahi?
No, now she's in Form 1. She just cleared Class 8 and I joined Form 1 just in March. Yes, she joined Form 1 recently. Yes, but she has some talents. When the COVID confined us, we used to do some distractions. She can do runway modeling, she can sing. So I used to take her for modeling pageants, trainings. And then we started that. She's the one who inspired me to start TikTok. So we used to get distractions because we were so confined in one place. So she has some talents also. As I said, she can sing, she can dance, she can act. That's when now I discovered even what she can do. Yes. Yeah.
So you two live together. You live together with her?
Yes. Yes, now we are living with Faith currently.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, okay, during that moment, vile your daughter, the first daughter, was sick. You just said that the father aliacha kusaidia during that moment. Okay, before that moment of suffering. Maybe what really happened now? Okay, was it like alikuwa away from Kenya? That's what really happened. Ndio mka break up? Ama what was it?
Stopping the support. Ama
something like that.
Yeah, I think the distance, and then he wasn't convinced. You know, in a way, people feel like when you're asking for money, no unataka kukula. So I think in a way he felt like maybe I'm eating his money, nakula pesa yake, but eventually I even texted him that your daughter has passed on. It's like he wasn't believing. So there's a time even when we did video calls, you know, when you see her face is healthy, so they are not believing, like she's not walking. So I don't know, maybe he was also traumatized and on denial. I can't really understand. But they came through very well for the funeral. They raised a good amount of money. We didn't lack anything. So I really don't know what happened. And I don't like getting deep into it. Yeah, because the time she also sought for help from him. She had her phone. So the time she sought help, but there's a time aliosha tu mikono. So from that time, around from December up to March akipass on, there was no support. And that's when she was at the weakest point. Saa hizo aliacha kutembea December 2019. Now up to March 2020 when she passed on, she wasn't on her feet. Yes.
Na ukiwa tu hospitali that you are there, okay, ulisema she passed away at your sister's place, right? And how was it like seeing your own child just leaving the world like this?
It was actually, I can't explain. It was, you had mixed feelings, yeah? Somehow you're in pain because she's in pain. Every day she's just in pain. There's a time she spoke out, all this pain in one person. So I was weak for her and strong for Faith. You see, you're having mixed feelings. Watching her, and then it didn't cross our minds that she's going. But she used to give me a look like she used to stare for long. I'm like, what is she thinking? Then there's a time she used to tell me, Mom, I'm seeing your efforts. Don't worry, I'm proud of you and I thank you. She used to thank me every day. So I felt in a way it was consoling, in a way just mixed. I can say I had mixed feelings. Yeah.
Maybe now you are saying that maybe if someone, okay, you've said that you ulitaka watoto sana.
Yes.
And maybe someone comes to you currently akwambie, Mary, I want to marry you, like okay, like ni kama tu proposal, not really proposal, something akwambie, I want to marry you and I want to do a wedding with you. Do you feel like you can risk that one?
I can risk because, but I would go more with actions. Just something. I mean, the words are not convincing. So if the actions convince me, of course, nitaingia box. But si maneno tu. Yes.
So you must investigate.
Yes, I must do my ground check, like to check, like, is this guy sincere? His actions, like, I'm impressed by actions, not words. Yes.
Now you lost your child.
Yes.
How is life after now? Overcoming everything?
I would just say, like, we pray more, we are closer to God, and then faith doesn't give me a reason to worry. So we just comfort each other. Like, as I said, every time we're happy, we feel like Mobese would want us to be happy. And then the memories are there, we can't take them away. So it's acceptance, basically. Accepting, and then we are as a slow pace of just moving on. Like, we've accepted she's not there, step by step. I'm praying for more grace. Yes.
Maybe someone has gone through your condition, like amepitia everything. What message do you have, maybe besides sharing this story?
I would say that our plans are not God's plans. Like, you can plan for so many things. Like Mobese was planning, she was, by that there's a time she was wondering in her graduation if we would both be there, because we were not in good terms with the dad. So she had plans to graduate, she had plans to get married, she had plans to, but those were not God's plans. Her plans were cut short. So I would say, okay, yes, make plans, but just tell God His will be done. And when you're going through tough times, like, just leave it to God, because some things are spiritual. Give yourself strength and don't hold on to somebody so much, because everybody, we are passengers, we're passing by. You don't know when somebody's time. So don't hold on to somebody so much, thinking that you're the one keeping them alive, because Mobese was my egg. In fact, my daughter now Faith felt like I loved her more. But because she needed so much attention. So I took care of her like an egg, but she cracked. So don't hold on to somebody on something so much. Yes.
Now Faith is there, you are there, right?
Yes.
And okay, you didn't tell us what really happened between Faith, Dad, and you.
Actually, I would say it was like a rebound because between when the 5 years passed, when I was dating the dad, when he stayed in the UK for 5 years, I was comparing him to him. So it was not working. I felt like nini. It's like a rebound, and then at the same time, it's like just there, like, and then we had so many like incompatibilities, and then there was a time we fight, I go back to my mom's house, we tried to make it work, but eventually it didn't work. Then the provision, he wasn't providing as much, so I felt overwhelmed. So at the end of the day, it's also a blessing in disguise, because when we separated is when he started like supporting Faith. So like I said, like everything happens for a reason. We might not have meant to be together, but he's there for the child when we are not together. So it's ironic, but at the same time, I don't complain. And then the peace of mind, when sometimes when you separate, you're more peaceful than when you're together. So I don't complain at all. Yes.
Maybe the last question, you had the Mobese, sorry, Mobese, that name. You had Mobese's dad, na mkamalizana like anything, something happened. Now, uku feel like I don't need to get to another man, I must heal myself.
No, as I said, you see, even waiting for someone for 5 years, I wasn't even dating, even like I was putting away from men. That's what I'm saying. The focus was on now Mobese. I was overjoyed to get a child. I think that was one of my goals. So my focus was on Mobese. She was distracting me a lot. So I never felt like I needed that man at that time. Yes. And even the same case with Faith, my focus is on her. Although I'm not a saint, sometimes, I can a big brand, and also to build Faith to pursue her dreams. So that we can keep going. Of course, bills need to be paid. Yes, so I want to be a big brand and to elevate myself and Faith. Yes.
Faith hajawahi kusumbua na ugonjwa, she's just fine.
Not hajawahi sumbua. She just gets these small diseases, but we handle them well, although it's traumatizing, because sometimes I check on her to check if she's breathing. But there's a time she told me, "Don't worry, Mom, we are dying together." So
True.
So she's like, "I'm not dying anytime soon." And I go, there's a time I even used to put my ears in her nose to feel if she's breathing. By the way, it left a lot of trauma. Yes, even if she's not sick. But when she's sick, even her, she can take herself to hospital. That one now taught us like not to ignore anything, everything small. Anajipeleka. When I'm not there, she can even walk. There's a hospital nearby, so she can walk. She takes herself. Then the doctor just calls me for the bill and stuff. So we take it seriously. When any illness or anything, or even me when I fall sick, she's like, "No, you need to go to hospital." Yes.
You are a strong woman, and I believe maybe something hot is cooking. Like you have a bright future. Okay, you have in future, right? But what I can say, you have a bright ending, maybe something like that.
Amen.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And what I can say is the other thing I was to say, like we believe someone will come for you. You're still strong. That vile nimesema tu, a strong woman, you still strong, like you must be like in a way that unafurahia mtu akikuja, you accept that. But I wish you all the best, like I wish you all the best. You're still beautiful. You'll get to where you want.
Amen.
Thank you. And guys, maybe parting shots, anything you want to say before you close?
I would just say choose joy. Sometimes happiness is not important, because it's like in the circumstances. Like when you have a phone, you're happy. So we should choose to be joyful despite the circumstances, because joy comes from the Lord.
True.
And it's always there. Whether somebody dies, the joy is there. So choose joy over happiness. And then sometimes I'm cheeky, so I have many personalities. So if you want to check me out, maybe you can check my Instagram, Jams42. That's where all my personality is, my modeling career. Sometimes I do funny TikToks. It's just taking life easy.
Funny TikToks kama gani?
Just doing the challenges. I could dance using those sounds of
You
TikTok.
can dance, right?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, okay, what's your name? Maybe your handles pale TikTok.
My handle is jams_1, the number one, the number.
You will one the
But
number.
but when you at Jams42, NJAMBS42 in Instagram, you'll see now my TikTok handle. So everything is in my IG. I believe my Instagram is my CV. Like that's where you'd find me, my modeling work, my other side. So I have many faces. Yes.
She seems innocent, but if you wanna see her real face, like everything she does, just visit a TikTok. Utampata pale, uone anafanya nini, enda Instagram uone anafanya nini. So make sure unamfollow pia, and we shall be together. Guys, I've been here with Mary Anna Njambi. Tumekuwa tukipiga story na yeye, and in case you're going through such kind of pain, ama ulipitia that kind of painful moment, don't give up. She just said look for a happiness, don't look for something that will bring you down. So for this moment you are saying goodbye. Let's meet in the next video.